Good morning. Happy Monday morning, everybody. I'm Ann Rossley. I'm here with my dear friend and colleague, Kyle Harvey. We are with Baird & Warner in the Gold Coast office, and we sell real estate in downtown Chicago, and we come to you each week to talk about what's happening in the marketplace. Good morning.
Good morning.
Today, we're going to talk about statistics as always, but then we're going to talk about this market and how it's a low inventory market and how to sell. Last week, we talked about how to buy. If you didn't catch that episode, go back on our YouTube channels or Facebook and check that out. This week, we're going to talk about how to be a seller, because there's actually a way to be a good seller in this hot market. And then we have a couple properties to show you. Okay. So first, we're going to do the snapshot, and this is all of the multiple listing service in Chicago. They put this out weekly. Every green and blue bar you see is 1 week's worth of closings. And last week, we were at an all-time low, 1,607 closings versus 1,901 last year for the same week. And just to give you a sense, in August 30th, the week of August 30th, we had 3,845 closings.
Well, it used to be that January, the last week of January would be slow just because everyone was sort of thinking about going on the market in March or wanting to buy in the spring market. But January has become the new March. And the reason this is so low are the things you're just about to tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the residential listings under contract. So again, this week, the properties under contract higher than last week of December. Not a surprise. Not as high as the first week of August, which was 4,257. New listings. Now, the blue is the most recent 5 months. The green is last year's 5 months. We have not had as many listings come on the market in any week. Well, maybe this week, 1 week. Every other week we were behind in the number of listings hitting the market.
There's just a couple that were different, but you're right. It's a crazy, crazy time.
So I just thought that was really an interesting graph to show. And this is what's currently on the marketplace. The blue is the number of listings. As of this week, there were 38,500 roughly properties on the market in the entire MLS. Compare that to August 9th when we had 60,500 properties on the market, and that was still not enough. So you've heard us say over and over, we're saying it again, low inventory, just not enough properties on the market. So of course that results in higher sales prices. This shows over the last 4 years what prices have done in various neighborhoods. Logan Square home price, and this is detached single family home only. Single family homes in Logan Square are up 11.1% year over year. Lincoln Square up 5.2%. Albany Park 10.1%. Edgewater 22.4%.
Wow.
Westtown with the median sales price of $975 up 2.6%. North Center 1.167 up 3.8%. Avondale down 13.5%, which is really strange. I think that's an inventory thing, and people are actually buying fixer-uppers there. Yeah. Irving Park up 4.9%. And this is the month's supply of homes for sale in the hot Avondale, Irving Park, Albany Park neighborhoods, all under 2. And here are condos. Condos are not that much different than single family homes. While the near north has 4 months worth, that is significantly down from where we had over 15 months in the height of COVID.
We also have all those new buildings.
Exactly right. Tribune, St. Regis, a lot of new construction.
Chicago, just a ton of new construction, whereas a lot of these neighborhoods don't.
Right. So condos in Lincoln Park, 1.5, Lakeview 1.5 for condos as well. So whether we're looking at condominiums or single family homes, regardless of the neighborhood, it is very much a seller's market. There's not enough inventory, and that's why we're tired.
So
Anyway, so let's jump into it. How to sell in this kind of market.
yeah,
It seems like it would be easy, Kyle. Like you just throw your property on the market and anybody will buy, but that's really not the case, is it?
no, it is not. And so it is very similar to how one would sell in any market, but there are tweaks to it.
Mm-hmm.
First, more than ever, you've got to have a smart broker who's helping you with all aspects to keep all the moving parts, sort of like an air traffic controller, because they're going to help you choose the right terms for the incoming contract to protect you as you go and look for your next place to live. So choosing a smart broker, number one. And then it's the prep, which is the hardest thing, prepping the home for showings and inspection. What do you like to do, Anne, to prep people for showings and inspection?
Well, aside from the typical staging stuff, is it the big three? I mean, it has to be clean, clean, clean. You need to make repairs. If you've got a door off its hinges or something, it just makes people feel like you aren't taking care of your home.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to smell right. Okay. Neutral. No weird smells, no bad smells, just needs to be clean.
Right. If anything, just like fresh laundry.
Right.
If you have to have a smell that is orchestrated, run the dryer with some towels and a dryer sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely right.
So it's interesting. One of the things I like to do, or I like to counsel my sellers to do, is get in advance of listing or at the same time you're doing it, the HVAC guy, and by guy I mean anybody, person, a plumber to come in if you have any leaks. It's
Get it all repaired. Absolutely.
So that you can show them a list of all the things that they don't have to worry about. I also find that, and a lot of sellers push back on this, offer right up front 1 year's home warranty, because home warranties provide for $600, $700, $800 depending on what you cover and the size of your home. Some are higher, but it's one price, and other than the single price to bring somebody out to deal with it, all of the stuff that is covered, appliances, if you add on electronics, if you add on the roof, all of that, repairs, replacement, HVAC, is on the warranty company. So it lets your buyer know you're going to be safe. There's not going to be in year one any catastrophe. And if they're smart, they'll have a home warranty going forward.
Right.
But it really sort of puts protection on people and then allows you to say, we've done all these things, but we're giving you a home warranty, $500, $600,
Right.
whatever.
Well, and too, when the property hits, there's going to be this flurry of activity. I was showing with an agent yesterday. She had a $1.2 million house and it was open yesterday. She had 60 people through in a 2-hour period. So one of the things I know you do and I do as well is we gather all the information up on that home. When was the roof done? When was it tuck pointed? Information about the electrical, the age of the mechanicals, so forth and so on. Because when you have so many people coming through, it's impossible to answer all the questions. So we put it right up in the MLS. We have the sheets at the open house or whatever, but we make sure, because all of that just adds to the perceived value for the buyers and makes for a smooth transaction. So
well, I always find that more information gets you a higher price.
Absolutely.
Because they know what they're buying and they factor that into the price.
Yep.
It's when a buyer has uncertainty that they step back. So even if it's disastrous, like there's a problem with the foundation. Oh, okay, fine. And now I know. I'll put that in the price. Fine. As long as you price for that, I'm good to take it on. It's amazing. So people, listen to your smart broker and do the stuff in advance, but it doesn't have to be hugely expensive. One other thing, winter. Everything goes wrong in wintertime. Be on it. Walk around your property after each weather event and look to see whether your gutters are frozen or the downspouts are frozen or something is wrong. Walk around, go up into your attic, make sure nothing's coming through the roof. Look at your basement, walk around the exterior, look at, for intrusion of water or any kind of sort of growth on the exterior. Because the more you know, the more you can get on it before it becomes like disastrous.
Absolutely.
And before we have to take it off the market while you bring people in to deal with it. So stay on, well, it makes sense anytime, but especially as you're going on the market in winter.
So another thing to consider, you feel like you can throw your property on there, and with all these buyers who are so desperate, you can just price it through the roof because you're going to sell at a high price. But that's not the right way to go, is it?
No, because if it's not the right price, they'll wait.
And then in a market like this, then you look like there's a stigma to your property.
Right. In a market like this,
days on market is a death knell. You don't want that at all. The other thing is, and here's the thing, they're going to put an appraisal contingency in a multiple offer situation. And so we will also advise you, don't always take necessarily the highest offer, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But when you price it right, you're going to get offers similar or a bit higher, but then you get to choose among the terms.
Yeah.
Like who's the most qualified based on their down payment or cash, or, who maybe has no contingency on the inspection or just an up-down contingency with no nitpickies, all those, and that just makes for a smoother transaction. Putting at a high price, just praying that somebody's stupid enough to give you that price is not the answer.
No, because to your point, if it does not appraise out, they'll either walk or they'll try and renegotiate the price, and you will have lost all those other buyers. So
Right.
you're absolutely right. And here's also a thing. Almost nobody negotiates. Nobody. They want to offer a price and they don't want to really talk about it, but they'll come up to you, they'll move a little bit, but they don't want to, there are people who say, I'll price it at, I'm just going to use a round number, $1 million, just to use a round number, thinking if somebody comes in at 850, they can come in at 850 and I'll negotiate. No one's going to do that. They're afraid they'll insult you. Well, and let me tell you, when you've set your own expectations of $1 million, 850 will feel very insulting. But you've got to price it where it's going to sell. So then they come in a little low and you pull them back up to where it's going to sell.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're just going to sit there with few showings because no one wants to see a property they're not going to be able to buy. And or showings where they just go, yeah, it's too high priced. I'm moving on to something where people are reasonable. So pricing right is key.
Absolutely.
Here's another thing. And I get it, people. I get it. I'm working from home. I don't want buyers coming in. They can only come in from X to Y and during the day, only on Saturdays. I get it. It would be so much more convenient to do that, but that's not how buyers are. I ask my sellers each time we get started to look me in the eye and say that they will show it whenever a buyer asks to see it.
Now, there are ways to make those sellers' lives more comfortable. For example, I like to put a property on the market on a Tuesday or Wednesday and say no showings until Saturday when we do an open house, so that the seller does get the people to come through. They come through all at one time in a 2 to 3 hour period, and then the seller doesn't have to leave for the first week. If it doesn't sell the first week, having done that, then absolutely they need to figure out a way to get out of the home, take FIDO out.
I hear you, but a lot of people can't do Saturday, and they don't.
Understood. Understood.
So I don't want to lose the buyer, because often the times there is a right buyer for this home, and on some level, making it easy for them in a market that is really difficult is something that makes you stand out as a property. So I totally understand. Anne is exactly right. That is a great way to do it if a seller just cannot that first week get out of their house or they're too busy. But I counsel my sellers, there is nothing too inconvenient, especially first when you're right on the market, when you're new, when it says new on in the MLS, do it. Let people come through, because gosh, if we could sell it while it's new,
Yeah.
you'll often get the best price. Okay.
So what do you do differently during low inventory? I just mentioned open house. Maybe, as I told you, Mary had 60 people through. Maybe it's better to have an open house that runs 3 or 4 hours the first weekend in a market like this. Do you think?
Well, there are some open houses in some areas. So whenever a cute little bungalow goes on in Rogers Park, that is a 9 a.m. till 5 o'clock at night, and it sells that day.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the property, but certainly a 4-hour would make sense on a condo, a duplex down in Lincoln Park. Maybe 11 to 1 and then 3 to 5, because what you're trying to do is make it easy for people.
Right.
And give yourself a break for an hour so you can get something to eat or something.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is capture people. So for example, I've got a listing in the Gold Coast where last week we did an open house on Saturday, and I had few showings at that open house on Saturday. So I tried Sunday and had much better success. So it really depends on traffic, and you'll get a sense for the neighborhood, what's working.
Right. Private network. Pros and cons to private network, but that can be a really great tool depending on the seller situation, don't you think?
Absolutely. So for example, today I was looking for properties to show you people, new properties, new houses and I didn't put any price limits on it, in the near north side, which is the Gold Coast, Streeterville, River North, Lincoln Park, and Lakeview. Each neighborhood had one new house.
That's something.
That means in the first week of it being on the market, one. The rest, I also look for private, and there's a ton of private stuff on there. Some of that has been on the market before. Some houses I recognize, I was like, I'm not going to show this. It's been on the market before. But there is nothing out there. But there is a lot that's on privately. So tell me, why, Anne, are people putting things in this really hot market? Why are they leaving them on the private network?
Testing the price,
Mm-hmm.
number one. If they want to really see if they can get a higher price, that might be a reason to do it. The other thing is there's this whole FOMO, fear of missing out. And some buyers feel like if they're getting something that the rest of the world isn't seeing, it gives them the first entree into the property. So they like that.
You and I are on Top Agent Network. I see constantly broadcasts to brokers. Only send me properties that aren't even on the private network. Stuff
Right.
that's never been seen before, upcoming stuff. It's like these, to your point just now, that these people are like, I've seen it all. Only show me new stuff.
Well, and I mentioned my cute couple that put an offer in that they lost out. It was never on the market, this most recent property. What happened was they had looked at a property. They lost out on that one. A similar property went on the market on the block. That agent networked and got all of the brokers' names for who were interested in the other property.
Good.
He called me up directly and said, would your people be interested in this? I said, absolutely. We went to look at it. They put an offer in. Of course, we lost. But the point is, it didn't hit the private market. It didn't hit the MLS. And it was still multiple offers.
Yeah, I've got an expensive property right now that I let Top Agent Network know that this is coming, but we're not even yet because we haven't even had time to take pictures. So we're not even on the private network. We're waiting until we get some pictures. Already I'm having showings.
Yeah.
So
let's summarize quickly what you do as a seller in this market to have a successful experience. Number one, do not overprice. Price it correctly, right? prepare properly, clean, repaired, in staged condition, do everything you would have done, right?
Do not skip that step. Don't think, well, I don't have to do it.
Right.
You do every time.
You still need to do it, and then do all the steps that you would have done. Give all the information on your property to your agent so that they can convey that to buyers so that you can have a good experience. All right. So should we look at the lovely condo of my buyers? So, okay, if you all have a buyer for this, let me know, or let Kyle know, and bring your people in. Okay. So here's the other thing. We love to have photographs in the warm weather.
Yes.
And right now the market is so hot, we can't wait. We just have to put our snowy photos on.
Because we will, if this is still on the market in the springtime, we will photograph outside again.
That's right. It's a 1,500 square foot, 3rd floor unit.
Oh, what a cute unit.
Isn't that adorable? Fireplace. It has this bump out in the front where you can look out over the street, put a desk.
Make that a little reading nook.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And still have enough room for dining area behind. See that big table back there? Yeah. Room for all of that. Here's the kitchen. The kitchen's in the back of the apartment with a little bit different layout. Isn't that cute as can be?
I love the color of the cabinets.
Isn't it? Yeah. They updated this kitchen. They've got the gold knobs and everything. They opted to do a dining area here, like breakfast area, instead of like a den. You could do either.
Love that.
That's the dining area again. This is kitchen. This is on the other side of the island, and they've got all that room. This clears the building to the north. And then, yeah, so it's so bright and light. This is the primary bedroom. This is the second bedroom. Isn't that adorable?
Darling, big.
Hardwood floors everywhere. See, this is the rooftop next door. So you've got all this light coming in. Here's bathroom number 2, and you can see the shower there in the window. These are hard to capture.
Tricky shot. Good work.
Brand new bathroom.
Yeah.
This is the primary ensuite. Washer and dryer. Hard to capture the deck, but you've got a deck, and you've got parking. So you've got all of this, and it is 2712 Fairfield. So we're just south of Diversey. Easy access to the highway, easy access to Logan Square and all those wonderful restaurants, and $415,000 is the price.
That is
self-managed building with low assessments.
Do we know the square footage generally?
1,500.
1,500. That's so
on a 2-bedroom, not including our deck. Yeah.
With all that outdoor space and parking in a cool neighborhood. Well,
it's going to go in a hot minute.
It's
yeah.
a hot minute.
But we just have to find them a home.
I know.
So that's the story there. I also have, if people are thinking about it, I've got a 2-bedroom in West Town with a roof deck coming on. And what else do I have? Lakeview 4-bedroom coming on. So, and I know Kyle's got stuff coming up too. So get in touch with us and we will help you find the off-market properties so that you can find the home of your dreams and win in this tight inventory market. Anything else you have before we go?
No, but next week we're talking about interest rates with our friend Carol Ann Bozarth, and she's going to give you a sense of what's coming up so that you are ready to jump, because waiting until March or April, not a great idea right now.
Absolutely. And we haven't even hit Super Bowl yet.
All righty. Thank you, people.
Good to see you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And catch us next week on Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann.